This video is sponsored by G2A. Use cashback code DORON for 3% off on Warcraft products. Hello guys, this is Doron's Movies, and previously I talked about the light and whether it is truly good. So to continue the discussion, I will be talking about the void and whether it is actually evil. Talking about the history, speculations, and covering the recent events that occurred. I won't get too much into the backstory as I already covered that in the previous video. So without further ado, let's get into the lore. When the universe was created, the light and the void existed. The tension generated by these two forces eventually erupted in a series of massive catastrophic explosions that gave birth to the physical universe. The two main energies existed as two sides to the same coin, and where the two powers coalesced, the twisting nether was created and the demons. Since then, the light and the void have been the two main powers behind pretty much everything. If you analyze deep enough, you realize that most of the events that occurred are just a part of the constant strife between the two. Even the creation of the Burning Legion and all of that happened was because Sargeras realized that the void would destroy the universe. Until recently, we've believed that the light was pure good, this massive benevolent force, and that the void was evil incarnate, and that ended up being true to a small extent, but largely false. The real answer is that these two are just natural forces and that they have no morality, and that a lot of good and evil just depends on the users. However, surely the void that created the old gods, the void lords, the undead, and all the various horrors, atrocities, and suffering can't be good and equal with the light. So the question arises, is the void actually evil? Well, there are various interpretations of what the light and the void are. One of them says that the light sees only one truth and one path and is fanatical about it, which was proven by the storyline of Zira or the alternate Ranor storyline with Yrel just taking over the world, while the void sees many truths and many different paths, which we have seen with Illyria and the Locust Walker. However, one thing is certain is that we as mortals definitely have one power that we see as better for us and a lot more natural, as after all, the living were created by the light. This is evident by the fact that the light brings positive emotions such as hope, comfort, courage, while the shadow brings the exact opposite such as despair, doubt, and panic. It is also said that the light brings emotions from the heart, the positive ones, while the void affects those created by the minds, which would drive anxiety. Throughout history, we have seen various void creatures. The most notable ones are the void lords, incredibly powerful beings that cannot even manifest themselves in the physical universe, that are just hell-bent on reordering the world and creating chaos. To further their goals, they have created the old gods, which were tools that were supposed to search out titans and corrupt them into void beings in order to become incredibly powerful weapons of the shadow. Aside from these most important ones, various other monstrosities were either created or transformed from other beings. Interestingly enough, demons, as creations from the mysterious realm of the twisting nether that was touched by the void, are able to wield and manipulate the void despite not actually being creatures of it. Generally, the void was used to commit atrocities and evil, but it could also be used as a tool for good. For example, we had warlocks and shadow priests that fought for us and that fought against the Burning Legion, bent on destroying Azeroth. This is very similar with Fel Magic and the demon hunters that utilized it in order to ultimately destroy the Burning Legion and save what was left of the universe. However, there is a big difference between a paladin and a shadow priest. The void is the type of power that comes at a price, a massive price, that can twist a noble mind and turn it evil. It is very hard to control, and if used long and hard enough, it can break even the most resilient spirits. Currently, one of the most notable users of the shadow is Illyria Windrunner, which makes her very interesting as she was one of the most notable warriors of the army of the light. She became the first void elf and created a new race known as the Renderai. Illyria is currently the experiment and the proof that the void can be used for order, and in her case to defend Azeroth and the Alliance. Ultimately, the real answer is that just like the light, the shadow is just an energy that exists. It has no morality and it doesn't really make any choices by itself. The only difference is that the light is closer to life, as its natural state is order, while the shadow thrives on chaos and it sees chaos as what the world should be like. The light completely dismisses the void and is bent on destroying it, as was evident with the imprisonment of Valyria when she just began to dabble in the dark magics. From a general perspective, none of the forces are evil. The void is just more potent for destruction and further away from the creations of the light, which is almost all life. Thank you for watching. Do check out the video on the light by clicking on the screen, and also check out the second channel, Doran's Academy, for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.